Hi, my name is Mr. Shark Game. Let me ask you a question. How would you like to be able to meet Japanese women the easiest, the most simplest way known to man? Well, in this video, that's exactly what I'm going to break down to you. I'm going to tell you the easiest and simplest way to meet Japanese women if you're living in Japan. And it's probably something that you probably haven't tried or you probably never really thought about. Because you have to realize if you're in Japan, meeting women the way you would do versus being in America, or if you're coming from the UK or any other first world country, that doesn't work very well. Meeting women on the street, that's almost forbidden. That doesn't work very well either. And you have to be aware that you can't be so aggressive when you are talking to Japanese women, especially in Japan. Now, in America, that's when things they're a little bit different because they become Americanized. But if you're living in Japan, you kind of gotta lay back and sweet back, and you gotta use your words. You gotta just have conversations, about anything that you can relate to. Talk about ask her questions about her culture, or the Japanese culture. And what I would say is if you're not into the Japanese culture, you're probably gonna have a hard time living and a hard time meeting Japanese girls, because if you're not talking about something that's within the Japanese culture, it's nothing really left to talk about that you can relate to and have a conversation. So you have to be into the Japanese culture. You have to be interested in what's going on in Japan. But what I would say is one of the easiest ways to get jumpstart your game in meeting Japanese girls is to meet girls through friends. Now, it could be a woman, could be one of your military buddies, or it might be somebody that you just met being in Japan. So it could be a guy, or it could be somebody that's been in Japan for a while. But one of the easiest ways to meet is through another person. And the reason why that is because it's just kind of like being in America. When you meet somebody through somebody else, they kind of co-sign that you're okay, that you're safe, that you're a legitimate person to be around and talk to. And that puts down people tend to put down their walls, because you introduce someone, if someone introduces you, and you might respect that person as a friend or as an associate or whatever. So the person that you meet through them, they kind of co-sign that person. So it's kind of like a psychological thing. So it's like if it's much easier to get introduced, because versus trying to talk to someone that's cold, someone that's at a club or at a bar or at the mall, or it's much easier that way. So meeting someone through somebody makes it much easier for you. And I would prefer for you to get introduced through another female, much much because it's going to be much easier if it's versus being if it's a guy. And another way to meet Japanese women is to I would say you gotta go to places where it's like kind of like tourist areas where it's like people are like sightseeing and stuff like that, or places where a lot of people tend to congregate, and um, places. So it could be like an amusement park, or it could be like a lounge. Any place where a lot of Japanese women are just hanging out, having a good time. You know, places like that. Places where women are open, they're socializing. They came there to meet people. So a lounge would be cool. Um, Amusement park would be cool. Some type of social event would be cool. Places like that. Places where, or you could go to like one of those, try and meet people like guys, for example. You might have some guys that might be married to a Japanese woman, and a lot of times they'll have little small meetup groups at their house, or maybe at somebody else's house, or it could be like a private party. You want to go to those because those little private meetup, small parties, you usually meet some good quality women there. So that's what I did when I first went to Japan, because it took me about 6 months to really adapt to change and everything, because I didn't really I just had a hard time when I first got there. It was a language barrier, and I didn't have the patience, and I got homesick. But what I did is I just got on the train one day and went to Tokyo, and that was all she wrote. So, you know, kind of got to be fearless when you're over there. But just always just try and make friends fast, and when you're talking to these women, don't talk about sex. Don't talk about anything serious in the beginning. You want things to be natural. You know, you don't want to really be so aggressive. You just want to focus on having a good time and getting to know her, and just ask questions. You don't have to be anything complicated. The Japanese women, for the most part, they're easygoing if they like you. So, but mainly I would say just focus on having a good time, and don't expect anything. Don't expect shit. Focus on having a good time, see where it goes, and most of the time you should establish some good relationships with a lot of women, especially a lot of younger women. Older women, that's a story for another day. But younger women tend to be open, tend to be adventurous, to see, and curious, because a lot of them, especially if they haven't met a black male before, or maybe haven't seen too many black people before. So younger women tend to be very curious. So that's what I would say. Try and meet women through other women mainly, or maybe another guy, and then go to places where large groups of women congregate. So it could be like a party, a small meetup group, or bench, or amusement parks and stuff like that. Places like that. So these are the best and easiest two ways to meet women that's been proven to work out for me and a lot of other people over the years. So until next time, my name is Mr. Sharp Game, and P.S. and by the way, if you like what you heard, go to my blog, chooseyourrelationship.com, and read some of the stuff that I post weekly, because that's where the magic happens at. And if you don't want to go there, just subscribe to my channel. Click on the red button that says subscribe on YouTube. So until next time, peace and love.